Campfire Guitar Stars, what's happening? Will Ripley here. Drop me a comment as soon as you get this. I'm just going to warm up on a couple chords just so everybody can line up into the live call here. So, name this song. As soon as you figure out the song name, go ahead and drop that in the comments. We're going to be going over the bar chords especially, but check it out. What chord does it start on again? All right. So hopefully those comments are coming in. Whoa, echo. So I'm tuning into the live call here as well. Looks like everything's working. I see Zach Daniels and Stephen Rigg on the call. Excellent, guys. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. So if you haven't figured it out already, the title of this video is how to change chords quickly. No, it's not. It's how to change. No, it's not. How to switch to bar chords quickly and smoothly. I was reading one of the topics from a couple weeks ago when I went live. And so yeah, we're kind of continuing this concept of changing chords, exactly how to do it, the secret to changing chords, how to change chords quickly for beginners. We talked a lot about this this down, up, or sorry, that strum pattern, down, down, up, down, up. And once you get that locked in, a lot of magic can happen. So we talked about Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine. We talked about Van Morrison's Brown Eyed Girl, and so on and so forth, that all use that strum pattern. And a lot of these kind of basic G to C to D chords, we even talked about some Green Day, another G, C, D type of thing. Time of Your Life. So anyways, what's going on out there, guys? How's everybody doing? Drop me a comment. And hey, so nobody called the song. Maybe you guys didn't catch it. Remember, I was asking you guys, what song is this? Come on, you guys know this one. Anyways, so especially getting to this bar chord, and also speaking about past lessons and stuff, I was talking about this song. Name this song. Speaking about that strum pattern, that bar chord. There it is again. Nice, nice. Steve for the win, but Evangelos said give a little bit as well. Awesome. Well, cheers, guys. Thanks for joining me. It was a couple minutes late. I had to tune my guitar and set up cameras and all this type of stuff. So Darren, you called it, man. This is my brand new Strat. I just got it. And I know, it looks haggard, right? Like, what's going on here? It's super haggard. Look how haggard this thing is. But I guess I watched too many Red Hot Chili Peppers videos growing up or something like that, because he was always playing a beat up 60s Strat. So that's I'm just hooked. So anyways, I just got it. Really stoked on it, actually. I sold my Fender Stratocaster of 12 years in order to afford this one, and it just got in yesterday, and I'm actually really, really pleasantly surprised with it. So it's a Fender custom shop. I bought it secondhand from a guy that went full out custom. He asked for all kinds of crazy, specifications that totally done and customized. So anyway, so I'm getting a little bit cheaper. So anyways, it all worked out. And yeah, Dusty says, congrats on that new baby. Thanks, man. I was supposed to go live last week and do this, but I'm not even joking. Like, we had it booked. The timer countdown page was all set up, ready to go. And like an hour before I'm supposed to go live, my wife goes into labor. Not even 2 hours later, we're, off to the hospital. And yes, our little baby was born last Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. And so it's 7:30 here in Mountain Standard Time. So anyways, I wasn't able to make the live lesson. I'm sure you guys understand. But anyways, it was a hell of a night, but we're all good. And yes, we had a little baby girl, 7 pounds, 2 ounces, totally happy, healthy. We were home that same night. And anyways, couldn't be any more grateful and thankful for just everything going super, super well. So anyways, so that's our second little baby. We've got a 1.5-year-old little boy. So, but yeah, guys, so cheers, guys. Appreciate those nice comments coming in. And yeah, so Steve called both of those songs. We were talking about Give a Little Bit by Supertramp and Summer of '69 by my fellow Canadian, Bryan Adams. So, of course, as you guys know, the title of this video is How to Switch to Bar Chords Quickly and Smoothly. I got the title right that time. So, what's this all about? Okay, so want to know what the big secret is in a nutshell? All right, well, here it is. So what we need to do is we need to basically have some sort of strum happening so that the music doesn't stop. Because maybe you're finding this. It's like you'll be strumming, and then that bar chord comes up, just like, you can practically hear the records just like, scratch and go to a halt, And then, so the music stops, and then you get your fingers into the chord, and then like the music just starts up again, So of course we can't be having that record go, and that's no good. That's no good for our listeners. It's no good for you either, man. I know it feels right, and let me know if you're kind of guilty of this. A lot of people that I teach, by the way, they don't even know they do this really, is they stop the music, they stop playing. And it's one of the worst things that you can do for your guitar playing, because as soon as the rhythm stops, just everything stops. The vibe gets killed, all that kind of stuff. So stick with me here, grab your guitars, let's solve this issue, man. Especially with bar chords, and especially with, this concept where things are getting a little more tricky, okay? Because if you caught some of the other live lessons I was doing, we're chatting a lot about this nice easy concept. So let's just pick up kind of where we left off from. So if you grab a G major chord and a C add 9 chord, okay? Let's just get the basic idea happening here again. So and let's just do a really basic strum pattern. We'll just go down up, and that's it. Okay? So, and then at that point we want to switch chords. Now, probably you can actually do that really without too much thinking around it, okay? Because just these chords are just so easy, right? But let's just get this idea happening here. And so here's really the secret to changing chords is we're gonna go down, up, down, and then right on this last upstroke of the strum pattern, see what my fingers did there? When I strummed up towards the ceiling, my fingers blasted off the fretboard, okay? So I'm leaving this appointment, or sorry, I'm leaving my house early so I can get to my next appointment, which is my meeting with the C add 9 chord in time, right? So I left the chord previous early so I could get to the next chord on time. So if my strum pattern on one chord is this, okay, that's how we, interact with the constraints of time, is we have to leave early to get somewhere else on time. And chords are a great example of that too, and that's exactly how you do it. So by leaving early, we're going to lift off our fingers, connect with the next chord, so that on that next down strum, we are totally connected and just rocking away. And if you got this already, why don't you just listen to me talk, or maybe drop in a comment, a specific question or comment or something that maybe helped you or whatever, or just go like this. Just see if you can get something like that, basic, nice and basic. And so if I'm to slow this down, right, on that last upstroke, my fingers are blasting off the fretboard and getting to that next chord on time, right? So that, my friends, is the secret to changing chords. Now, of course, when we get into something a little bit more complex, like a bar chord, so if we use that same example and go, all of a sudden get into a bar chord, okay, like say this B minor chord, which is going to be this shape. So we've got, and by the way, this is just an A minor chord played with these 3 fingers and not your first finger, and then moved up 2 frets, okay? So that's all we're doing with this chord, is we're just moving up an A minor chord. And in this case, it makes it a B minor, okay? So there's our B minor chord. And in both of these song examples today, Supertramp's Give a Little Bit and Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams, both of those tunes have this B minor chord in them. And go ahead and drop in any other song that you know that uses the B minor chord. Kind of like an uncapoed version of Hotel California would use that as well, All right, the first couple chords there. So anyways, the B minor is kind of like a really classic go-to place. And sure enough, a couple of really famous songs that we'll use on examples here in this lesson use this, okay? So now, what is the secret to changing bar chords? How is it different than this? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? That super easy example. Well, it's not, okay? That exact premise, that exact idea completely and totally applies to switching to a bar chord. Now, we just have to be extra specific about the technique, okay? Because, say if we're talking about, let's see, the exact example for Give a Little Bit, we'll use this A major chord, or let me think, which one should we do first? Actually, both of those examples go from an A chord, okay? And I play my A chord with 1 finger, okay? I know there's a million different ways that you've probably seen an A chord taught, but I play my A chord with 1 finger. There are exceptions, especially if we want to hit this Bryan Adams thing. That's not going to work with that 1 finger, but so much amazing stuff works really well with a 1 finger A. Okay, so hopefully with that example right there, just riffing, I've been able to sell you on the 1 finger A, okay? It does wonders, okay? Okay, so we're going from this A chord, and we're going to this B minor bar chord, okay? So let's just break this down a little bit. So, yes, we want to leave this chord early, okay, and get to this chord on time, okay? But let's just zoom in a little bit. There's a couple of different layers to this tasty chocolate cake that we're about to dive into here. So yes, we want to leave that chord early, okay, as on that last strum and get into this position, okay? But check this out. We already got a bar going on, okay? This is kind of cool. We got these 3 strings covered with your A major. So what that means is that when you go over to bar on this chord, your B minor, you already got like most of the work done. So just make sure that this finger is just going from here to here, okay? Now, if you've checked out my beginner course, 5-Minute Guitar, by the way, who has the 5-Minute Guitar book or has checked out the Campfire Guitar Star course, 5-Minute Guitar? Because what I talk about in there is the like how to memorize chords, okay? And I have this 4S system, okay? Which is you're going to first stretch out your fingers, okay? Stretch out your fingers. So let's just try this because this B minor chord is kind of hard. So let's see if we can develop a little bit of muscle memory and show you a practice method on how you can increase your own muscle memory. Okay, so we're going to stretch out our fingers. Now the next S is to stick the chord, and there's a double S here. We're going to simultaneously stick the chord, okay? So that means that all of our fingers are going to come down at the same time, okay? So we're going to stretch and stick. Now, the first couple of S's of this, just stretching and sticking, are super, super important. Just seeing if you can just stretch out your hands and then simultaneously stick that chord. No matter how slow you go, just see if you can just get all the fingers to land pretty much at the same time. Like I'm noticing that like I'm even, I guess it's, yeah, it's like if I go slow, it's a little harder to get it. But if you just kind of, I don't know, you can just stretch and eventually these chords will just stick, right? So hopefully you're just working on that with me, just seeing the stretch and the stick. Now the next S is strum. So that then you can get that strum going, just making sure that all of these notes are actually clean and clear, okay? Because a lot of times people go stretch and stick, and then it's like, and that's of course not what we want. So we're gonna go stretch, stick, simultaneously stick, of course. Strum, I know it's not really a strum, we're arpeggiating, but arpeggiating starts with an A and we need an S. So we're gonna strum the chord like this, nice slow strum just to make sure it's all there. And then if you really want to go to the next level, the 4th S is to say the chord out loud. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a B minor chord. And hey, it's just kind of good to be like, that's a B minor chord, you know, brain to finger connection, and then just really try to solidify that so that any other time that a B minor chord shows up in a song, you're like, I know that chord because I stretch, sticked, strummed that chord, and I said it a million times. So that's the 4S system, and again, I teach that in 5-Minute Guitar. You can get access to that course in its entirety right now, totally for free and on the house. So definitely check that out if you want access to this whole beginner guitar system. I honestly don't know how long it's going to be available for anymore. Pretty sure I'm going to stop. I think I'm being too crazy and offering this $100 guitar course for free. I've been doing it for a while, and I think that it might be time. So make sure to snatch it up before before it's gone. All right. Okay. So Lonnie says he can't do the A bar. The big thing is just getting those 4 notes. This is one of the easiest chords, actually, really, if you think about it, because you're just covering your first finger on the D, G, and B, okay? That in itself is 100% totally an A major chord. And then for bonus points, you can get this knuckle bent up like that and get the high E string, okay? And also like maybe tilt it off to the side a little bit. That gives you a little extra clearance. So it's not straight on like this, like little tilt up like that. So yeah, we just keep on tweaking it. And if it's the first time that you've ever done something, just give yourself a break. Realize, hey, you know, maybe some things are a little bit hard the first time you do them, right? Okay, and look, I'm dual wielding peanut butter jars. Adams peanut butter, anybody? They make great, huge water jugs that you can have lying around your house. Okay, so here's where we're at, guys. So yes, and Steven says, I've been laying the index finger down after forming the rest of the chord, my bad. Yeah, so, I mean, and maybe you guys have, and hopefully you guys have seen this, that the guitar becomes a little easier after time, right? You start getting a hang of some of these chords. But like, it's just so bizarre when you think about it that some of these chords that felt so alien to us actually you know what I mean? Like we can just like instantly stick those. I'm not even looking and I'm just. Or whatever, right? And our hands just instantly go into these positions. And that's the only way that I can really think of how to do that is to stretch out those hands, simultaneously stick, strum it just to make sure everything is all clean and clear, and then say the chord out loud if you can, B minor, just like B minor, stretch, stick, strum, say, stretch, stick, strum, say. Okay? So, all right. So that in itself is kind of like how you can get practice doing this. So now let's put it to work, all right? So in this song example, we were going, and this is such a nice little easy strum thing. You just got to get the timing right. So we've got this A chord. Okay, Forgive a Little Bit by Supertramp. So we're going to go down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay, and there's actually one of those switching mechanisms that I've been trying to teach you here in this lesson and previous lessons, right there. Actually, no, there's not really. There just was when I was speaking and teaching and playing all at the same time. So. Okay, so we got down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay, so A to D. Okay, you'll know it when you hear it, and if you ever forget, then just listen to the intro of the song. And there it is. There it is. Okay, so you do that a couple times, and then we go to a G chord to an A. Do that twice, and then we're back to D, but you're gonna hit that G. Okay, let's just jam on it for a second. One more time. Okay, so super iconic, great tune, actually pretty easy. Don't have to worry about too much strumming or too many mechanisms or whatever. That's just sticking chords, strumming them the right amount of times each, and you get the intro to a super, super famous song. Okay, so now let's talk about, so how does that go? Okay, so those chords, the little pre-chorus, we go to that B minor, okay, and again we talked about, we're on this A chord, right? So we're on that A, B minor, to the A sus to the A. I could teach the whole song like that if you like. I'll just sing all the chords. So B minor to the A sus to the A to the G, back to the A sus to the A. Okay, so B minor, there's that bar chord, and again, A, slide that thing over, see if you can get everything down right in that instant simultaneous kind of deal. So we've got this A. So however you decide to play your A chord, we need to hit an A sus. And so how I'm doing it there is I'm hitting my third finger here, and you could do your second finger in case that's more comfortable, but that's third fret of the D string. Sorry, third fret of the B string, okay? Okay, so there's that sound. We go to the G, and then we go back to the, okay, to the A sus, to the A. So, and bonus points for you guys that are a little more advanced, when you get back to the A chord, where you can do this. Okay, and that shape right there is these two guys, D string and the B string, 4 and 3. You can actually strum all 5 strings there from the A string. Sounds kind of pretty, doesn't it? And then slide this finger up 1 fret, land both of these fingers, same set of strings, just on the 5th fret now. Another very pretty sound there. So, all right, sounds pretty good, right? And then we're back to, and I don't even think it does, because we've already, can't remember if it goes like back to that right after that. So, okay. So you guys making out okay with that? So we've got, and then yeah, if you kind of put it together with the strum pattern, it would sound something like this. So I'm going down, 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 up, down, up, down, down. You know, something like that. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, down. Okay, so. So there's our pre-chorus for Give a Little Bit. And so here's the other thing that I really want to emphasize in this lesson. And of course, we're talking about how to switch to bar chords quickly and smoothly, okay? Pick songs that have bar chords in them, okay? Pick songs that you want to play, that you want to learn, and just practice those a whole bunch and find multiple songs with those, with lots of bar chords in them. And so, and in fact, if you search on the Campfire Guitar Star YouTube channel here, if you just search bar chords, there, if you find that little magnifying glass like in our video section and just search bar, you'll see this, I believe I called it the Bar Chord Masterclass, and it's like a 30 or 40-minute video just filled with bar chord songs, okay? And that will give you a whole slew of like classic cool songs, everything from the Red Hot Chili Peppers to Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Help Me Out. You know, that guy that does Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Anyway, so Otis Redding. I beat you guys. Nobody beat me, did they? Whew, good. I was getting almost embarrassed there. Okay, so is that making sense? We've got just play songs with bar chords. There you go. There you go. Cool. So yeah, and Steve's been learning Comfortably Numb. Sounds like that's got some bar chords. Yeah. So just find songs that have bar chords in them. I'm just giving you 2 examples of some classic songs that are relatively attainable. So that's the pre-chorus to the Supertramp song, Give a Little Bit. Okay. So again. I'll go right to the pre-chorus. Here we go. talk about classic chords, right? They just feel so right when you hear those chords played together. And hey, like I said, we've got a bar chord in there, great tune to learn. And hey, speaking about campfire guitar star and playing songs around the campfire, I think that definitely applies as one of those tunes that would get the party rocking, if you know what I'm saying. So, the other tune that I wanted to show you guys was that 4-chord sequence, Summer '69 by Bryan Adams, okay? So, and we've got this other sussing riff going on. So we've got this D sus 2. So it's really similar if you ever caught my lesson to Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. I do like a beginner simplified version of it. Okay, so with those chords, D sus 2, D major, and D sus 4. Okay, great couple 3 chords to know. And this riff is just going to cycle back and forth between those, and we kind of palm mute this D string. So I'm not hitting it like this. I'm getting a little bit of that kind of like girthy palm mute with my palm muting the string. Okay, you just got to find that sweet spot where that palm rests. And so we go, and then we alternate between those chords. So see if you can get that going. Play a little slower. Okay, so that exact same riff happens on the A chord. Now, here would be an example where I would use a different form of A. And in fact, for me, because I find these 3 fingers, I've always hated this A chord. Let me know if you're also in this club of hating a 3-finger A chord. I find it's just too cluttered, okay? So for me, because then if I use these 3 fingers, then just things fit in there a little bit easier. But we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna hit an A sus 2, an A major, and an A sus 4, okay? And that's the riff, but this time we're palm muting that A. Definitely a kind of a more of an advanced riff. You know, it's nothing easy about that. And another way that you could do it is also, if you guys have ever seen your A chord played like this, okay, with these particular fingerings. Okay, so second finger, first finger, and then your third finger. Okay, that'd be another way that you could get it going on. Okay, however you figure it out, whatever gets you playing it, that's the right way. Okay, so, but yeah, unfortunately, my method of playing the A chord with a 1 finger isn't gonna help you a ton there. So we got. Bit slower. Okay. And so that's kind of the main chunk of the riff. But then we got this beautiful pre-chorus that sets us up to hear that that line. What is it? The Summer '69, right? So we're going to switch to a B minor. There's that B minor. So we're going to simultaneously, first we're going to lift up our fingers, do that chord mechanism. And you can hear that. I actually do that a little. I'm literally doing that. I'm literally hitting open strings. Okay? But it doesn't sound weird. It doesn't sound like I'm hitting random open strings because it's very intentional And hey, guitar players have been doing it ever since these things have been invented. Okay? Okay? So just do some sort of little mechanism to not stop the music to get you into that B minor chord on time and quickly. And so we're going to, do all those things, like if you want to practice it again, stretch, stick, strum, say, all that kind of stuff. But here are the 4 chords. We got B minor to D major. Is that right? No, it's not. It's B minor to A major. And in this case, I would definitely employ my first finger because, hey, it's kind of like the Supertramp song, but in reverse. We're going to go from B minor to A. That's a nice, easy switch. Look for those, right? Find those nice, easy switches. It will make your life on the guitar and playing your favorite song so much easier. Find those similarities, okay? And then check it out, to a D. That's actually a pretty nice switch too, from an A to a D. Okay, so you can see why I chose these 2 songs, right? So we got B minor, A, to D, G. And there's that strum pattern that we had talked about in the last 2 lessons a bunch, and I touched on it a little bit today, which is down, down, up, down, up, okay? So we've got down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. It's okay to, whatever happens on that last upstroke, that's your time to move and to pounce on the next chord, right, as quickly as you can. So we've got down, down, up, down, switch, down, down, up, down, switch, down, down, up, down, switch. So there's your 4 chord cycle, right? So that's what you want to work on. And there's your practice. You want to practice bar chords? Play these 4 chords over and over. And here's another nice little switch from your G major. Okay, look, your first finger is already in position to just slap down and get into that bar chord, that B minor bar chord. So So that 4 chord sequence, and then at the very final round of it, oh no, it's not Summer of '69. Those were the best days of my life. Summer of '69, there it is. Oh yeah. And then I look back now. Summer seemed to last forever. And then I look back now. And I'm gonna be there. Those were the best days of my life. Summer of '69. So there's that sequence that So those are a couple of song examples for you. Again, Supertramp's Give a Little Bit and Summer of '69. They use that B minor bar chord. And so, I mean, hopefully this lesson was just like bang on. You're like, dude, I like those songs. I'm going to play those songs. You've given me a big bump start on those songs. Hopefully I just nailed it all for you, you know? And hopefully you're just like killing it over there, you know? But if you're not, then I screwed up. No, what I was going to say is find songs that you really like, you know, whatever those songs are, you know, find those ones. Find the songs that you want to play with bar chords, and that's your practice, right? Like, this is the mechanism. This is how you do it. This is how you switch, and here's ideas on how to practice these chords and how to get this whole process faster and smoother, okay? And, you know, yes, this will be available for replay, so, you know, if you want to go through these, definitely check out the last few live lessons that I've done. You'll always be able to tell because it's just, I've only ever done like two or I think this is my third live lesson in this room. You'll recognize the couch in the red background. So find those videos and you'll see it's all about chord strumming, chord changing, stuff like that. We didn't really talk about bar chords in that lesson, but we touched on a little bit because it does come up in the comments. People are like, how do you switch to a bar chord? Well, it's really the exact same premise and idea that I was teaching in those songs and those lessons, but it's just a little bit more difficult and challenging because we've got this great big beastly chord that probably doesn't have anything in common with your other chords. Try to find those commonalities, of course, those anchor fingers and stuff. But, in a nutshell, what we want to do is that secret to changing chords, which is leaving the previous chord early to get to the next chord on time, whether that's the little strum, some sort of open chord, like open strings. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how you get to the next chord on time without killing the music. We talked about that record player. It always makes me think of, the scene from Back to the Future when George McFly walks into the diner, and then just everybody's heads turn. It's like, the music stops. That's kind of what it's like, unfortunately, for a lot of guitarists that are they're strumming along, kill the music, get your fingers into position, and then you're back up again. Unfortunately, yeah, okay, you get the chord right and it's all clean and clear, but you kind of killed the vibe for a second there, right? So, and what I'm showing you in these last bunch of lessons, and hopefully today we were able to unlock some of this inner secret goodness. And that's ultimately how you get this going on. So what do you guys think? Is that helpful? Also, guys, I'll stick around here for the next few minutes to answer any questions. Let me know what's going on in your guitar world. What's happening with your strumming, with your electric playing? What you working on? What are you challenged with? Do you have any questions? What do you want us to go over in the future? What kind of techniques or songs or stuff are you just dying to learn and you could really use a hand on? But anyways, it was good to see some familiar faces. We're definitely got a good little thing going on here, and Stephen Rigg. And who else did I recognize? Lonnie Christopher, I've seen you, and Steve Hunter, who's one of our one-on-one lesson students. Dusty Little, I've seen around. But there's some new names in here, so that was cool. Appreciate you guys stopping in and saying what's up. But yeah, do let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, while we're closing things down, Campfire Guitar Star, we got t-shirts. You should actually see that right, I don't actually see it right below this video, but on all of our videos, you'll see the Campfire Guitar Star merchandise. If we've been able to help you with your guitar playing and you feel like it's worth it, it's just an easy way to support the channel and keeps us doing stuff like this. And we only make like $10 off the shirts, but hey, it's all right. And but yeah, and then also just check out campfireguitarstar.com where, like I was saying earlier, we offer a free course called 5-Minute Guitar. It's valued at $100. I don't know how much longer that's going to be available for. So if you want a step-by-step beginner guitar system that tackles all this stuff that we've been talking about in this lesson plus a ton more, you can go over to campfireguitarstar.com and check that out. And yeah, and then that also gets you registered on the mailing list. And yeah, we got a good little community going on, over on Beginner Guitar Players on Facebook. Actually, shit has been hitting the fan over at Beginner Guitar Players on Facebook lately. So that was a group that I founded, and it's got, I don't know, like 8,000, 10,000 members in there. And it really actually just started as a Campfire Guitar Star group, but then people started finding it. And so I think that maybe Steven, I think that's maybe how we got in contact. And Stephen was recently attacked in Beginner Guitar Players on Facebook recently, and I vigilantly tried to defend you, to provide justice as an admin in Beginner Guitar Players on Facebook. So anyways, it's been kind of an interesting thing over there lately. A Facebook group can take on a meaning of its own. But anyways, we publish content in there. So all of our YouTube stuff, we actually do a special upload right into Beginner Guitar Players on Facebook, and always upload a new piece of content. So if you're on Facebook, which you probably are, if you just search Beginner Guitar Players on Facebook, you'll find that group. It's founded by Campfire Guitar Star, and you can join that group. And so it's just another way to stay in contact with us. But yeah, get on the mailing list over at campfireguitarstar.com. Anywhere you put in your email to get the free course or whatever you sign up for, maybe one of our programs, or we teach one-on-one lessons, and things like that. So whatever you get in touch with us, there's whichever way, that's a great way. I love the mailing list. The mailing list is really like where the action happens, and you'll be the first to know when a new lesson comes out. But yeah, the YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell here. Join Beginner Guitar Players on Facebook. Go over to campfireguitarstar.com, all that stuff. So I'll just catch up on the comments here. Do let me know if you guys have any questions, and then we'll go ahead and shut it down. But cool. All right, so my bar finger covers all the strings. I can't seem to land the B note. Okay, so I think what you're talking about is you're slapping your finger down across all these guys. Again, I think that's just practice, going back to the stretch stick. And by the way, special tip, I'm glad he brought this up. This is the great thing about Q&A, is that the tip of your finger can touch the low E string. Don't necessarily fret. It's not the worst if you end up fretting that note, but it just doesn't, it's not really a strict B minor chord anymore. But you can touch that string, and you can hear when I try to hit the low E string, it just gets deadened. So that means that I can strum all 6 strings, but I'm only allowing my A string, which is a B note, and the rest of the B minor chord to ring, right? And so that's just, yeah, I think that just comes down to the stretch stick, stretch stick, stretch stick, stretch stick. Like, do that a million times, and I'm sure, or even just for 5 minutes, just set a timer and just do that for 5 minutes straight. You'll be able to do it like, probably 500 times in that 5 minutes, and just generating that muscle memory, right? So that's what it's all about. Cool. So Steven says, great lesson. I'm also not dipping my shoulder enough when I switch to bar from open chords. Dipping my shoulder enough. Okay, that's an interesting thing to say. Your shoulder, like, are you actually talking about like dipping your shoulder like this kind of thing, or and Stephen says, you did a slide class not too long ago. Love to see another one. And yeah, cool. So Evangelos says, I love this new A chord, way more comfortable for me. Awesome, man. Yeah. It's funny, like, and then I see Steven says, he says, oh, I never worry about fools online. And cool. So, and Steven is an all access pass member. By the way, we're opening up the all access pass in September. Thanks for letting me know and reminding me that this is where you get access to all of our courses, and it's awesome value. So anyway, Steven, appreciate that, man, that you're an all access pass member and you love it. That's great to hear. And yeah, so there was, speaking about fools online, there was this guy that was prowling our YouTube channel and was adamant that this is not a proper way to play an A chord. But I'm kind of thinking like, well, Slash does it, like Jimmy Page did it, I mean, I think it's okay. I do it, and I see there's just so much benefit to playing an A major chord like this. But yeah, there are some haters on the A chord that are when you play it like that. So just beware, because yeah, like I said, there's like, this is the way that it's taught, but like, I already sensed like there's just, that's not a clear note, that's a little buzzy, and that's a little bit muted, just because like my fingers are just crammed in there, So yeah, so you can switch it around like this. So it's like second finger, first finger, third finger. That's okay, especially if, and this would be a good song to work on, the Summer '69, okay? But yeah, so, and then you can also do the same thing, 3 in a line with your second, third, and fourth fingers without your first finger, right? But again, why use 3 fingers when you can just use 1, So anyway, but it doesn't always work. But and it's just so funny that Summer '69 is one of those examples. So, all right, okay. So yeah, so Steven says, I see your left shoulder dip when you switch. Okay, so That's interesting. I'll have to watch the replay and see that. So, yeah, so I think that maybe you're talking about that right there. It's like, there's like a, and yeah, I mean, like naturally, I guess like with my whole arm switching position, my elbow kind of comes in to get that bar chord. So yeah, I guess there's something going on with my left arm to just make that all happen. And yeah, you know, I always say to people like, whatever works, dude, whatever gets it going on, that's the right way, okay? All right, cool. And Philip John says, how to learn rhythm. Counting beats, not helping since I get distracted in counting beats. Also, I love your videos. You're so underrated. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a saturated market out there, man. Guitar lessons. I came a little bit late to the game, you know, after Marty Schwartz and Justin Guitar and all these guys. They were, you know, dominating YouTube. I'm, you know, we've been able to cut through, and we have over 4 million views on the YouTube channel and over 40,000 subscribers and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, it's all good and all cool, but yeah, like, you know, came a little late to the party, but anyways, I appreciate that. And so, but I agree, man, counting beats is not really super helpful, okay? Because yeah, you said it yourself, you get distracted in counting. What I would really suggest is you got to find songs that that don't have a complex strum pattern, okay? That way you can really just start feeling the rhythm. Okay, and the first song that comes to mind is Zombie by the Cranberries. So check this out. I love teaching this song, and it just hits so many, you know, we're talking about like a layered chocolate cake, you know? Like there's so many awesome layers to just learning this one song. First of all, it's classic. Second of all, it's easy. Third of all, these are great chords. Fourth of all, it's got an easy strum pattern. Fifth of all, you can use all these secret to chord changing techniques and tactics that I'm teaching you. It's all in this one song, okay? And that's just 5 things that I've listed off the top of my head. So again, Zombie by the Cranberries, E minor 7, C add 9, G to D sus over F sharp. And again, if you search the YouTube channel for Zombie, you'll be able to find lessons on this. We've taught this before. But check it out. If I just think about this, down, 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 okay? I can teach you that in 2 seconds because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 strums, 8 down strums, all on the same chord. Or sorry, 8 down strums on each chord. And then what I'm really doing there is I'm emphasizing the kind of the drum beat. I'm thinking like, so on that, I'm just strumming the strings a little harder, just giving it an extra little jab, and that's accentuating that beat. And then I'm just able to kind of like crank into it. You also notice that I'm string splitting, so I'm actually just hitting a lot on the low strings. Bottom, bottom, top, bottom, 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 top, bottom, 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 top, okay? And that's another thing. So you just start feeling it, right? And I love that song because of all those reasons I just listed. And so that's what I would recommend is find songs that you can start feeling. Because again, you said it the best yourself, when you start counting the rhythm, you start getting distracted and you kind of fall off the wagon, so to speak. So anyways, hopefully that helps. So I am going to run the gate by saying good night, guitar players. See what I did there? Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Definitely check out campfireguitarstar.com. We've got an acoustic course, a blues course, a lead guitar course, a course on 1960s songs. We do one-on-one lessons to students all over the world via webcam. Okay, we're teaching 5 days a week. I don't even know if we have much more space for students. We just did a promo on that, and all of our spots are filled. Maybe we could fit in one more student. I'm not sure. It's all kind of down to Mike B. He does the one-on-one lessons. But Anyways, do get in touch with us, join the mailing list, get access to our course, and all that kind of stuff. All right, Philip John, that's awesome to hear, man. Okay, cheers, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Keep on ripping it up. And Mike's releasing a lesson this Saturday. He's releasing some Jimi Hendrix stuff. And, speaking about Jimi Hendrix, this is why I got this guitar. It's like very Jimi Hendrix-esque to me. The 1960s style Stratocaster with the big headstock. So anyway, so Mike B is releasing a Jimi Hendrix lesson this Saturday. Stay tuned for that if you want to get some electric licks going on. Otherwise, good night, guys. Talk to you soon.